The Orlando Magic make a major statement. Those rumors of the Magic's demise completely overblown because the Orlando Magic have stated their case to being among the best in the Eastern Conference. Today on Locked On Magic.
You are Locked On Magic, your daily Orlando Magic podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And you are indeed Locked On Magic. Today is November 12th, 2025. It will be November 13th. Happy birthday to my sister, 2025. My name is Philip Rossman-Reich. I'm the senior writer over at OrlandoMagicDaily.com, credentialed member of the Orlando Magic media since the 2012 season. On today's episode of Locked On Magic, the Magic make a major statement on national TV, mostly without their star player. A major statement that tells you the Magic were probably fine all along. They're figuring it out. We'll get to the statement the Magic made and how they move forward, potentially without Paolo Banchero, coming up here in just a moment. But first, we want to thank you again for making Locked On Magic part of your day every day. We want to thank you for making us your first listen of the day. No matter where you listen to us, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether it's right when we upload, we truly appreciate you making Locked On Magic part of your day every day. We truly appreciate all of our Orlando Magic dailies, our everydayers who listen to Locked On Magic 5 days a week, on the weekend when we go on the weekend, whenever we record, whenever we publish, part of your regular rotation. Truly, truly appreciate it. And we're so happy and proud to thank you all for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network. Locked On Podcast Network, it's your team every day. Today's episode of Locked On Magic is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. It was 2 weeks ago, and it feels so much longer than then, but it was only 2 weeks ago that I sat here angry, in this chair, in this spot, livid, asking humongous questions about this team. Humongous questions about what this team was about and whether this new mix could come together, could be what we think it could be. If you remember that loss to the Detroit Pistons two weeks ago, that was as low as we have felt really in 4 years under Jamal Mosley. The weight of expectations it didn't look like Orlando Magic basketball. And even as the Magic began to kind of come out of that 1-4 start and that 4-game losing streak, things never felt completely right. Like, sure, you trounced the Charlotte Hornets, you trounced the Washington Wizards. No one's losing sleep over that. No one's saying much about that. But then you go to Atlanta on national TV. Yes, to end a road trip. I claimed it was a schedule loss. I'll give the Knicks their credit here in a minute. But you go on national TV and you lay an absolute egg. You don't look competitive against a real team. Your defense just completely betrays you. And we all had to sit there and wonder for the whole week, who is this Magic team? They're not giving us the bill of goods that we expected. And all the rumors, all the innuendo, to steal a phrase from our friends at Something to Wrestle With, all the rumors and innuendo began to fly. Trust me, I've been asked, been thinking about them. Try not to verbalize them, not to give them credence. And the message continued to be, hopefully from me, but certainly from the Magic, was be patient. It will all come together. But honestly, even this weekend, it didn't feel that way. You follow up a really nice win against the Boston Celtics, a really good character win, needing to punch back in the fourth quarter with a dispiriting loss, 17 turns for 29 points, if you remember, on Sunday. You come back Monday night in a back-to-back against Portland Trailblazers, put together a really good 45 minutes, and then nearly give it all away in 3. Needing a game-winning three-pointer from Desmond Bane to save the game. And probably save the season a little much, but certainly save some confidence. To say the least, I think most of us were expecting, just hoping for a good showing against the New York Knicks. On the road against one of the best teams in the league. Yes, on the second night of a back-to-back. Yes, playing their third game in 4 nights. But a team that was 7-0 at the Garden. A team that is averaging 120 points per game. A team that does all the things the Magic are really bad at, like offensive rebounding and all that. I think the Magic just hope to take a step forward. Right? Or at least the fans and us. We're just hoping to see, okay, just be competitive, show that we're inching to the right direction. None of us saw this. All of us knew the Magic were capable of this, were capable of these kinds of games, knew that this was who the Magic have to be. But I don't think any of us rationally, and look, players are got to be irrationally confident, so I'm sure everyone inside that Magic locker room believed. But none of us probably saw this. A dominant 124-107 victory. A game where the Magic led by as much as 20 points. Where the Magic never let the Knicks get closer than 9 in the second half. A game where they stifled defensively, frustrating Karl-Anthony Towns, bugging Jalen Brunson, fouling maybe a little too much, but fouling nonetheless. And using their physicality and using their size and their dominance, not only to create offense, but to set the tone for the game. The Magic said before the game started, they wanted to be the aggressors. That was going to be the statement they were going to make. They may go down swinging, but they were going to be the aggressors. And even on a night where the Magic didn't shoot the ball particularly well, they dragged New York to their level. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Orlando Magic basketball. We'll get to making the offense a little better. And look, the offense is better than it was last year. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The Magic are doing good things on that end of the floor. Maybe not as great as we want them to be, but doing good things. But this is the core of Orlando Magic basketball. They grab, they push, they get under your skin. And now, because they're so much better in transition, when they get those turnovers, they're quickly to the other end and scoring. That's the real change. And that's the real boost that the Magic are getting from last year. Orlando let their defense lead, and that has been one of the big struggles for this team throughout the course of this season. They let their defense lead. They pushed the tempo. They controlled the tempo. When they wanted to slow it down, they slowed it down. When they needed baskets, they got to the foul line. They got their defense set and made sure New York didn't have very much space to breathe. Like, yeah, they got some shots off. Jalen Brunson had a big game, but they made sure they got under their skin. They made sure the Knicks felt them. They played, in no uncertain terms, they played Orlando Magic basketball the way that we expect and, frankly, love this team. I was talking with fans after the game, and everyone's, checking each other's subreddits, and a lot of Knicks fans are not happy with the Magic. Well, guess what? When the Magic work, when the Magic are doing what they're supposed to be doing, the opposing fan bases, the opposing teams hate them. You don't want to play the Orlando Magic because you are going to feel it in the morning. Has that been the case all season? No, it hasn't. It was the case Wednesday night. And to do it in this spot, at the Knicks, in the Garden, against one of the hottest teams in the league, one of the teams that are favored to win the East. It's Cleveland, New York, and everybody else, they said. Detroit certainly in that conversation now too. Big win for them tonight against Chicago. But to do it like that on national TV, where we said last Tuesday the Magic have struggled so much and have been embarrassed so much, to do it this way, to do it their way, to reclaim, regain, and showcase their identity in a dominant fashion against a very good Knicks team. And we'll see them next Saturday. 1 week from Saturday, they will not be happy coming to the Kia Center. If you're going to the Florida Classic, if you're going to the UCF game, go to the Magic game. I wish I could. Unfortunately, I do have to cover UCF. But that game's going to be war. And if these two teams meet in the playoffs, it's going to be war. Because the Magic are going to be annoying as heck. And that's Magic basketball. So for the first time all season, the Magic played Magic basketball. Now, Is this a statement win? That's something I want to talk a little bit about. We'll get to that. Plus, perhaps the big story coming out of this game, Paolo Banchero straining his right groin. We'll talk about how the Magic played without Paolo coming up here in just a moment. But first, today's episode of Locked On Magic is brought to you by our friends over at Wayfair. The holiday season is right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need more seating for guests, cozy new linens, or fun serveware for holiday hosting, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help make your space shine. And the best part, you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off from sofas to spatulas. Those are just the S's. There's a whole alphabet of things that Wayfair has. Whether you're looking to get something for a holiday gift, whether you're looking to get something to help you prepare for Thanksgiving, it's 2 weeks away, guys. You got to be ready. Wayfair delivers fast and easy, just in time for the holidays. You can browse through their site. It's easy to find pieces that actually fit your style. Nothing generic, just quality designs that feel personal. If you've ever hosted family for the holidays, you know how much difference a few new touches can make. Wayfair makes that easy. Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. We want to thank you again for making Locked On Magic, your first listen of the day. And thank you again for helping make Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. It's your team every day. Like I said, is this a statement win? Is this the Magic officially announcing themselves to the rest of the league, to the rest of the world, and saying, we are here. We are the team you all thought we were. Look, we're 12 games into the season. There are still no statements yet. Like, the Knicks, we're on the third game in 4 nights. Second night of a back-to-back. Yes, a home back-to-back, but a back-to-back nonetheless. I don't want to say, like, the scream schedule loss, because the Magic just won a third game in 4 nights, home back-to-back on Monday. But, look, these situations are tough. You meet teams where you meet them. And look, Orlando took advantage. Like, Orlando could have easily scuttled around and done what they've done all year and lost this game. So, the Knicks, go listen to our friends at Locked On Knicks. I'm sure they'll talk about the physicality. I'm sure they'll talk about, look, the Magic are better than their record. They're starting to figure some stuff out. I'm sure they'll talk about, frustrations with fouls. Like, look, the Knicks have stuff to clean up. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Knicks played well. They did not play well. The Magic forced them to play poorly. But this game was a statement in that, A, it's on national TV. Like, again, maybe the Magic shouldn't be a team that cares so much about being on national TV. It's been a while since we've been on national TV. For Magic fans, I know that the national TV thing's a little touchy because A, we feel like we're not on it enough, and B, the Magic lose and often lose embarrassingly on national TV a lot. That certainly happened last week in Atlanta. Magic's next national TV game, by the way, will be Monday, December 1st, against the Bulls. That game will be on Peacock. That is the first game after the Thanksgiving road trip, which I've been highlighting and talking about. Tough road trip. New York at home on that Saturday, at Boston Sunday, at Philadelphia, at Detroit, the 2 NBA Cup road games. So big week for Thanksgiving. So get your food done early because we got some basketball to watch. But this game was a statement in that the narrative on the Magic has been they're struggling. And you look at the national narrative around the league, and it's like, why is this team struggling? Why can't they get Desmond Bane more shots? Why can't they get things going in the right direction? And look, we've been wondering those same questions. And I hope I've been preaching patience and telling people, like, look, it's bad. There's some stuff to work out. There's going to be some recurring problems that I think are going to be problems. There are definitely some bigger question issues that are going to linger over this team, but give them time, be patient. They're going to be fine. They're going to improve. They're going to get better. And we're seeing that. Even through some of the struggles, the Magic were starting to win despite not playing their best. Tonight was certainly, or this game, Wednesday night, was certainly the most complete game the Magic have played all year against a real team. Sorry, Charlotte. Sorry, Washington. Washington, very complete game. Charlotte was pretty good, but this was doing it against the Knicks. And so it is a statement in that now the national conversation is going to be different. I'm recording this at 10:30, so I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch Inside the NBA after the game ends, after the Thunder-Lakers game ends, after I'm done recording this, after I'm done writing. I'm going to sit down and watch Inside the NBA, and they're going to talk about how dominant the Magic were. They're going to talk like, see, it took a little time for everybody to get settled in and figure things out, but now they're playing with confidence. And yeah, maybe narratively that game-winning shot just lifted the lid and the pressure's off and they're no longer pressing and they're no longer feeling the weight of expectations because they had this joyful moment that got them over the hump. It's a statement in that you you'll listen to the national podcast. You'll listen to Locked On NBA. They will talk about how good the Magic were. And now all of a sudden everything's flipped. You're feeling better. I'm feeling better. The team is feeling better. Everybody is talking about this team under a different light now. That's the reality. Again, I made the contrast. 2 weeks ago, I sat in this chair, depressed and angry. I saw your comments to saying like, wow, if Phillips this angry, it's really bad. And it was really bad. Like that Detroit game was embarrassing. And they took that lesson. They went and got a really nice win on the second night of a back-to-back in Charlotte. That was not an easy win, even though the Magic made it look easy. Now we're sitting here 2 weeks later, and everything feels, and one win has made everything feel a lot better. It's like, okay, now we know, now the Magic are back to 500 at 6-6. The Magic have this really quality win under their belt. They punched up and beat one of the best teams and one of the teams that are playing the best in the Eastern Conference on the road in their building. They handed the Knicks their first home loss of the season. And now, when we get to the end of the season, and look, these 3 games against the Knicks are coming really fast. Magic play the Knicks again next Saturday. There's a game in early to mid-December, and that's it. No more Knicks. Our friend Matt Moore of Locked On Nuggets and Locked On NBA keeps track of these season series stuff. Big season series potential tiebreaker if the Magic can pick up some wins here during this stretch. And, the stretch is set up a little bit, not easy, but these next 8 games, there's some winnable games. Won't be easy, but very winnable games, including NBA Cup games. But the whole mood and vibe of the team is different now. The way we talk about it is different now. And assuming, because momentum is the next day's picture, assuming the Magic beat Brooklyn, have a good showing against Houston, won't be an easy game on the road at Houston, take care of their business at home with those three home games next week. Golden State, LA Clippers, 2 teams that are dangerous but struggling, and then the Knicks again, and then head out on that Thanksgiving road trip. As long as the Magic keep picking up wins and picking up ground and making this move, they've shown us what they're capable of. We've seen, the Magic have this mental toughness. Like, look, Orlando shot 36.4% from 3, 12 for 33. Big part of this game was they held the Knicks to 11 for 36. Their offense in that second half, they scored 62 points. So I won't say it was completely rough, but it was rough. It had its moments, and we'll get to the Paolo of it all here in a minute because I've been burying the lead on that. Magic overall had a 121.6 offensive rating, insanely good 105.9 defensive rating. That is insane against this Knicks team. Another game where the Magic are above 120. I think they only 14 games of that last year. They got 5 already this season. Again, the Magic's offense is not bad this year. It's playing pretty well. Transition's been a huge boost to that team. We'll dive into those numbers in another day. But the statement here is that, yes, the Magic can compete and beat the best teams in the East. They got to do it consistently. They got to do it again. They got to do it every night. But they put together their best game of the season, their absolute best game of the season, in the spotlight with everybody watching. And that's why the narrative is flipped. That's why it feels like the Magic have made a statement. That's why it feels like this win is as monumental and as big as a win can be in mid-November. Again, you got to do it again. And, the pressure's not on, but like Group B in the NBA Cup, East Group B, is going to be determined by who beats the Nets by the most. Like, I'm sorry, Brooklyn. I'm sorry, Locked On Nets. It's the reality. Detroit got you by 16. Orlando's got to beat them by like 20, 25. And that'll provide some buffer should they drop one of those games later on. Again, they play the Pistons and the Sixers on the road to finish their group play. Again, 60-point win against Celtics gives them, or 17-point win against Celtics gives them a huge cushion in the NBA Cup. But now suddenly the Magic looks super frisky and super dangerous. And that's what's changed. Talked a lot then about the big picture of what this win is. But there was some bad news. But there's also some good news. We'll talk about the Paolo Banchero injury and how the Magic responded as we go through the box score coming up here in just a moment. But first, today's episode of Locked On Magic is brought to you by friends over at Built. Nobody likes paying rent, but if you must, you might as well get something for it. That's where Built comes in. Built is changing the game by turning your rent payment into real rewards you can actually use. When you pay rent through Built, you earn flexible points that can be redeemed toward hundreds of hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. But Built isn't just about rent. It's about rewarding you around your entire neighborhood. Whether you're grabbing food at your favorite local restaurant or heading to the gym, you are still earning rewards on Built. Built is rent finally working for you because you earn points every month on something you already have to pay. It's that simple. Turn your rent into rewards and start earning points around your neighborhood by going to joinbuilt.com/lockedonnba. That's joinbuilt, joinbilt.com/lockedonnba. Make sure to use that link so they know we sent you. Again, that's joinbuilt.com/lockedonnba. Today's episode of Locked On Magic is also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NBA is back. It is so back. And there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who's going to score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. The Magic actually won their first game as the underdog, the betting underdog. Incredible stuff for the Orlando Magic. A big, humongous win. But we are right back to it. NBA Cup is back in action. NBA Cup is back in action on Friday. The Orlando Magic aren't listed on FanDuel for East Group Cup B winner, which is weird. The Detroit Pistons are plus 250. I don't see the Magic's odds on here, which is very, very strange. Looking for them on who's going to win the whole NBA Cup. I don't see them at all. This is very, very strange that the Magic aren't on their NBA Cup odds, but there you go. There's the potential. The Orlando Magic back in action on Friday against the Brooklyn Nets. So right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So however much the Magic are be favored by on Friday's game, you have a chance to win big thanks to the Magic. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. There is bad news that comes from this game, though. And it shouldn't have taken me 24 minutes to get to it, so I apologize. Paolo Banchero left the game in the middle of the second quarter with what the Magic are calling a strained groin. He will be reevaluated when the team gets back to Orlando. I believe they're flying back on Wednesday night. They might have delayed to fly back Thursday. They canceled their previously scheduled practice. No surprise there. That's not a shock to any of us. But a strained groin is a tricky injury. I would suspect that Paolo will miss Friday's game against the Nets. I don't see a reason to push him on that. I would suspect he will miss Sunday's game as well against the Rockets, which makes that game infinitely harder. And we'll see. Again, like groins are tricky. We are dealing with a marathon, not a sprint here. I would rather have Paolo completely healthy than trying to rough out an injury that could get worse and could linger. So we'll see. We'll see how the severity of the injury. We'll get low down on it at some point Thursday. Certainly at shoot around on Friday. We got some questions to ask for shoot around on Friday. I actually have to go to that. That's the first place to start. But the good news is the Magic really responded. And look, Paolo was playing pretty well. I'm going to give Paolo credit here. He only scored 4 points in 12 minutes, 1 for 4 shooting, forced some shots at the rim, but 2 for 2 from the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. I thought he was doing a really good job moving the ball. I thought his activity was really, really good. Wasn't stalling. He was again attacking quickly. All the things we like seeing from Paolo. When Paolo's at his best, he was doing it. The points just weren't flowing quite yet. And again, maybe they would have later. I thought it was a solid game for Paolo. But once he went out, the Magic knew they had to keep their energy up. And their energy was good from the start. But they knew they had to kind of fill in for him. And so you get these really great contributions all the way around. Players really stepping into their roles and making things happen. Like obviously Franz Wagner stepped up in 36-50 wearing a mask because he broke his nose in Monday's game, fractured his nose on Monday's game. He's got this like nice purple bruise on the bridge of his nose. 28 points, 10 for 22 shooting, was 2 for 7 from 3. So fell in love with his three-pointer a little bit too much. 6 for 8 from the line, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, no turnovers, more importantly. Franz was excellent on defense, as always. Mikal Bridges was just 3 for 9. OG Anunoby was just 2 for 4. The Magic were just devastating on defense, and Franz was a big part of that, as was Wendell Carter. I'm seeing more and more people offer their apologies and give their flowers to Wendell Carter. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 for 8 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3. Did have 4 turnovers, got a little sloppy with the ball. Again, just like Wendell's problem is he doesn't have a great second jump. And so when he gets rebounds, he can't put it right back up. Defenses do have the ability to swarm him and crowd him. We've known about this. That's not a huge surprise, but Carter was really, really good. He matched Karl-Anthony Towns. Like that was the most important thing. Karl-Anthony Towns was 15 points. He did have 12 rebounds, 6 for 15 shooting, 5 fouls. Carter frustrated the heck out of him. But more importantly, Carter stepped out on the defensive side and guarded the perimeter as well as he guarded the paint. Again, this was a team effort for the Magic to rebound. They got 12 offensive rebounds against the best defensive rebounding team in the league. They had 16 second chance points, just 6 for 14 shooting. Another place to clean up. But the Knicks' size is a problem for everybody around the league and did not bother the Magic that much. They fought hard. They scrapped for those extra possessions. And again, their defense was so good, they got 20 fast break points. They're winning those numbers. They got 50 points to the paint. They bugged the Knicks like crazy. And Wendell Carter, again, remains a linchpin to this defense's success. With Paolo out of the game, the shots then turned to Desmond Bane. And this is why, like, having Desmond Bane is so important. Like, one of my big concerns is what happens when the Magic do lose one of their key players. When they do lose a Paolo Banchero, because, like, again, you're not going to play all 82 games. How much does that knock things off kilter? Well, one of the things I was actually intrigued by, and one of the things I thought could actually be kind of good for this group, is that if Paolo or Franz had to miss games, that would inevitably push Desmond Bane into an on-ball role a little bit more and force him to take shots. Like, you want to get him out of his shooting block, find his place in this offense, give him the ball more. That's what Jamal Mosley said before the game on Monday. I asked him, like, Des only had 1 3-point shot. How do you get him more shots? And Moses' answer was like, we're going to get him the ball more. We're going to put him in pick and rolls more. Obviously worked a ton in Monday's game. Worked even better this game. 22 points, 7 for 15 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3, including a dagger 3 with 2 minutes left that put the Magic up 16. Got the Knicks to pull their starters. 6 rebounds. This is the big one. 8 assists. Still had 3 turnovers. He likes to shove and extend his arms. Like he's a physical guy, which we love. That's, again, one of the reasons we thought Desmond Bane would be a perfect fit with this team is he's gonna scrap. He's gonna get after you. He's not afraid to shove and push. And that's what we love with the Orlando Magic. Everyone else in the league hates it, but we love that. That is who this Magic team are. And again, they established that physical tone early in the game. They dominated with it throughout. This was a great, great, great great effort. I loved everything the Magic did in this game. So Bane, 3 for 6 from three, 5 for 5 from the line, eight assists. Again, that's the difference. Like, that's the difference for this team is like Kentavious Caldwell. Like, again, I don't mean to compare him to Kentavious Caldwell Pope, but when KCP struggled from three, that was it. Like, yeah, I'd give you the defense, but that was it. And Bane's defense not as good as KCP's. But Bane is able to be on the ball and make plays. And that's going to be, again, maybe the Magic have leaned into that too much. But Bane's trying to fit in, trying to get others involved, and he can make plays. He can make passes. The absence of Paolo Banchero means the Magic could need more from Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs, 14 points, 4 for 10 shooting, only 1 for 5 from three, but that three was a huge one in the fourth quarter. Gave everybody the calm down. I thought he was saying it to the Magic's bench and just being like, hey, stay cool, guys, stay cool, guys. It was probably to the Knicks crowd, just trying to silence them as they tried to make a little bit of run, just a run-busting three, deep three, too. That kid's just all confidence. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, but honestly, I thought he played excellent defense on Jalen Brunson. Brunson just 10 for 23, 1 for 4 from three, 10 for 13 from the line. So fouled him a little bit too much, 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 31 points for Jalen Brunson. Again, I thought Orlando generally did a good job on Jalen Brunson, got caught behind him a little too much. Brunson foul baited a lot. That's what he does. It's not surprising. But they made his life hard. They made him work for every point. By the fourth quarter, Brunson did look a little worn down. Suggs really worked on him. And again, like, it wasn't just Suggs, obviously. Bane switched on him. Anthony Black switched on him. It was everybody. But I want to highlight the bench. Like Anthony Black especially. 17 points, 7 for 11 shooting, 3 for 5 from three. No stat correlates to the Magic winning more than Anthony Black shooting. Anthony Black made huge plays. In the fourth quarter, I believe he had 9 points. However many points he had most of his points in the fourth quarter. He made big plays, got to the basket, just found little edges to get to the rim, scored, and then again, made big threes in the fourth quarter. Made at least 2 of his 3 threes in the fourth quarter. Just huge plays all around. And when Anthony Black is playing well, again, no stat correlates to the Magic winning more than Anthony Black's 3-point shooting. When Black is playing confidently, getting the basket, shooting well, this Magic team is really hard to beat. Same deal with Tristan da Silva. He had 8 points, 3 for 5 shooting, 1 for 3 from three. I love Tristan da Silva because the Knicks thought they could hide Jalen Brunson on him and late in the second quarter. And as Orlando was trying to expand that lead out to 20, and they did get it out to 20, Tristan da Silva just attacked Brunson. And I don't think Brunson was ready for it. He drew a foul on Brunson. He made a basket over Brunson. They couldn't hide Brunson on him. Like, that was a mistake. And that's crazy confidence from Tristan da Silva. Again, just a night and day between last year and this year. Brunson's a really good player. Goga Bitadze had his best game of the season, 10 points, 3 rebounds. I want to give Jonathan Isaac love. I know he finished his -9. He missed all 3 of his shots. Like, the 3-point shooting and how he could contribute on offense is something the Magic need to figure out. But his defense was so good throughout the night. Like, he was Jonathan Isaac on defense. And, he's still good for just creating a steal near midcourt every game. He's just so disruptive, and he's just such a good shot blocker. And, I think the Magic, as they're trying to reestablish their defense, which, again, they did in this game. They held the Knicks to 42 points in the first half, 19 in the second quarter. Again, a 105 defensive rating is crazy. Crazy good defense from the Orlando Magic. Jonathan Isaac was a big part of that. I do think the Magic need to play him and need to find minutes for him. They just need to use him a little differently offensively. Like, I'd like to see the Magic run Isaac with Carter a little bit more instead of with Goga. Because with Carter, you can have Carter space out to 3-point line. So all those corner threes that Isaac's getting, give those to Carter. Like, run screen and rolls for Carter. Run screen rolls with Isaac. I don't care. But put Isaac in the dunker spot, somewhere where he could score a little bit more effectively so you could use him defensively. Like, you almost have to play Isaac like he's the center and Carter's the power forward. And you can't do that with Goga. Because, again, there's just not enough spacing there with them. And so the Magic are still dealing with some spacing issues and dealing with finding the right lineups, and throwing Paolo out of the mix means you're going to have to reconfigure lineups again. But having said all that, everybody filled in. Like, nobody lost confidence. Nobody got rattled at all. The Magic got up, put the hammer down, answered every run, extended their lead, And like, look, fourth quarter did feel a little bit like they were hanging on, but they made the plays. The Knicks never threatened them on the road against one of the best teams in the league so far. They never threatened the Magic in the second half with Paolo Banchero out. And again, that's not a statement of like, I think the same thing would have happened if Paolo were in. Like, honestly, like, I don't think it would have mattered. The defense was just so dialed in and locked in. But, again, you lose your star, everybody pays a little bit more attention. Everybody's knows they have to fill in with their energy. So these things can be a good thing for a little bit. There will still be problems. Like, again, offense, I think, is going to be a little bit of a struggle. Finding lineups that can function when Franz has to sit is going to be a little bit of a problem. There are going to be some issues here, especially if Paolo has to miss some time. Again, would not shock me if he's out for the next week. If he misses all of next week's games, comes back at Boston or comes back against Philadelphia. Would not shock me. Would not shock me in the least. But a really strong effort. Again, just a really, really solid game for the Magic here. A lot to like from their game. A lot to like from this effort. And if the Magic play like they played Wednesday night against the Knicks, they're going to be the 3 seed. They're going to be the 2 seed. They're going to do everything that we thought they could do. And maybe more. Like, again, it's not championship level because it's still too early, but this is high level basketball. The Magic finally displayed it, and now it's just about doing it over and over and over again. The Orlando Magic defeat the New York Knicks 124-107. They are again back in action on Friday, NBA Cup game against the Brooklyn Nets. But that's going to do it for me today. I want to thank you all again for listening to today's episode of Locked On Magic. You can find me on Twitter at @PhilipR_OMD and on Blue Sky at PhilipRR. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Himalaya, Google, Spotify, Odyssey, and all the fun-based on the podcast to your podcast-enabled listening device. For the latest on the Orlando Magic, be sure to check out OrlandoMagicDaily.com. You can find us on Twitter at OMagicDaily. You can always find our podcast as well by searching on YouTube at Locked On Magic. You can also check for more Orlando Magic content. Be sure to check out my Patreon page, Orlando Magic Hub, at patreon.com/Orlando Magic Hub. I did a video breaking down how the Magic get their three-pointers and what the Magic are doing to get three-pointers and really what the key to the Magic's offense is. You can find that video on my Patreon page at patreon.com/Orlando Magic Hub. As always, thank you for your support. Now that you're done making Locked On Magic your first listen of the day, go check out the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Josh Lloyd hosts the #1 fantasy basketball podcast, giving you daily tips and helping you win your league, all while making you a smarter NBA fan. Find Locked On Fantasy Basketball on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, all part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. That's going to do it for me today, though. I want to thank you all again for listening to today's episode of Locked On Magic. We'll be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more about the schemes the Magic are using, how things have changed, and where they can keep getting better. We'll do that on tomorrow's episode of Locked On Magic. But until then, for Orlando Magic Daily and Locked On Magic, this has been Philip Rossman. See you all again next time for another episode of Locked On Magic.